Hey Alex here. Today we got some more information on pre-orders. We're going to go through the first big mistake EA is making for Madden 20, in my opinion, and then we're going to talk about how to maximize rewards for next year and some strategy you can do going into it for how to get a couple more rewards. Alright, so pre-order information. I'm going to kind of go to this comparison on their website first with the additions here. The Ultimate Superstar is $100. This one is $80, and standard is $60. Of course, you can get discounts on them through the Madden menu. With EA Access, you get 10%, and then I think there's a 10% off on its own. So you can get 20% off. So the Ultimate Superstar ends up costing like $80, I think, instead of $100, which is pretty nice, but, the thing goes to all of them, the discount. So, 3 days early access to the game. I'm going to say this off the top, and I'm going to put it down right now. If you're watching this after the launch of the game, order the standard edition. Full stop. All right, stop it right there. That's where you need to order it. I'll tell you right now. If you're looking for just pre-order information, that's your key. If it's after, if it's before, you got to ask yourself how much you're going to play in those 3 days. If you're only going to play 10 hours or less, I think you're fine with EA Access. If you're going to play 20 hours or less, EA Access still might be the way. If you're going to absolutely just destroy EA Access for the 5 days early access that provides, and then you're going to go through 3 more days and play like 50 hours in those 3 days, then you'll want to get Superstar, Ultimate Superstar Edition. But if you're not going to spend that much time early on in Madden, like, ripping packs, playing the game, and that kind of stuff, it might be worth it just to use the EA Access trick, which I will go through in a video in the future, so that way EA, if they don't already know, which they probably already do, but so I won't bring it up to the EA's attention until like right before it goes live, so that way we have a better chance of it not getting patched. Anyways, the differeces between the modes and the details we got today, I went through this in a different video, but the actual players that we're getting, I will go through a video on their own on this 82 overall NAT elite player from our favorite NFL team. I'll do a video on which one I think are the best ones to choose there. And then next up is the 1 of 4 unique superstar abilities for your creative player in Face of the Franchise QB1 mode. Now this is Face of the Franchise QB1 mode. Before we get into this, let's remember that. So, gift wrapped, Kurt Warner. They are mentioning these guys' names, so expect these guys to be in MUT this year too. They've been in MUT before, so I would assume they're going to be going forward. Passes with gift wrapped, one of the superstar abilities, have a better chance to complete passes to uncovered receivers. We haven't really had an issue with uncovered receivers dropping the ball for a few years now. I really hope that's not a thing in 20. If that is a major step down. But I think this is piss poor, right? If they're uncovered, they should just catch the ball. They shouldn't be dropping if they're uncovered. So this is really poor, a really weak power in my opinion, because that's not something that we really have problems with at the moment. It's more coverage stuff that we have problem with them catching the ball. But maybe it's something for 20, and they're putting in drops in order to put this and to make it powerful. That would be disappointing. Next up, Gunslinger, something we're all familiar with if you've played the last few years. Passes with Gunslinger have faster passing animations and increased velocity on bullet passes. Now, this past year, last year, and 18, Gunslinger would have the ball come out of your hands at a lower angle so that it got to your target quicker because it wouldn't loop as much. So the downside of this is that it also hits your lineman in the head. We'll see if that is, because they revamped quarterback mechanics, we'll see that if this is a thing this year, if the ball comes out a lower trajectory again, or if it's just higher velocity. We'll see what Gunslinger actually does if you are hitting your linebacker more, or your lineman more often with Gunslinger this year. I personally thought it was a fine way of balancing it, because basically, if it's all positive and it's coming out faster, there's no reason not to use it, right? Whereas this provides a balancing reason, make it harder to make drags and easier to throw longer passes with Gunslinger. So it's more of it was well balanced this year, I feel like. But next year, maybe it's all positive and you don't hit your lineman at all, because that was annoying. Don't get me wrong, I think it was a bad gameplay mechanic, but it actually in the end ended up balancing out Gunslinger pretty okay for me. QB Playmaker. Let's read through it. Steve Young, mobile. Combination of athleticism and accuracy allowed him to improvise his way out of a bad situation. Passes with QB Playmaker can elicit immediately and precise reactions from any receiver in the field. Thank you, I hate it. So, Playmaker, I feel, is a bailout mechanism. It's so bad for the game. And not Playmaker itself, Playmaker chemistry. This chemistry last year with the wide receivers that had Playmaker chemistry. In itself, it's fine. But the fact that these guys can cut on a dime faster than any other player on the field, and the fact that they can cut and then the zones don't stay with them, or they can cut and beat man coverage, just made it too powerful for the game. I don't think there was anything skillful about, calling a drag, playmaker him up, and then the zones don't stick with him as you run across or over top. Like, I don't think that is good gameplay. Being able to basically have a psychic, like, you got Charles Xavier back there at quarterback, have a psychic link between you and the wide receiver to make him go do something quickly and accurately exactly where you want him to. I hate it. I think it's way too overpowered. I don't think it provides that much of a skill gap at all. I don't think there is anything there with the playmaker. I think this is terrible if it's in MUT. The fact that they're bringing back playmaker really makes me afraid of MUT right now and what it's going to be. Because the fact that the MUT team doesn't their team doesn't recognize how much this destroys gameplay, it disturbs me, right? It is disgusting. They took the playmaker, the quick playmaker ability out of the game 3 years ago because it's too powerful. And then they brought it back as a chemistry to make you pay for it. And it's overpowered, it's stupid, it's gotta go. I think it ruins MUT. No, I mean, not like ruin, but it makes it worse. All right? So I really hope the MUT team, I really pray that they have listened to us and the MUT team doesn't put this in MUT and it just stays in face of the franchise QB1. Please do not give quarterbacks this ability. Because here's the thing. Here's what they're thinking. They're thinking this is a scrambling quarterback thing. This isn't like Drew Brees sitting in the pocket and directing somebody, Tom Brady doing stuff like that to bounce out like a slower quarterback. This is that the Madden 19, the run with it like a chicken with your head cut off around the backfield. And then playmaker guy, he gets open because the zones don't recognize him, and then boom, it's a 30-yard completion across the body snipe. And it's like, okay, because you can get him into green grass. And it's terrible, needs to go. All right, so that I think is the mistake. Let me know in the comments how angry you are at me and how amazing playmaker is. But again, playmaker stuff is fine. The chemistry ability, it's got to go. Gutsy Scrambler is the next. So obviously, you know which one I think is the most powerful if you are going to choose this for your QB1, your face of the franchise type of player. Cunningham. Passers with Gutsy Scrambler won't be adversely affected by passers' pressures while throwing on the run. I think it's a fine chem. I'm not that mad about it. Because we have D linemen with the opposite chem. So I don't think that's like overpowered, but we'll see how the game plays out, of course. But I think that's a perfectly fine one. Again, the most OP one is the playmaker. 15 gold team fantasy packs of those 4. 15 gold fantasy packs. Maybe they'll give something crazy where you can bring down a fucking laser beam from heaven and wipe out defenders. I don't know what else they could do. But gold team fantasy packs are fantasy packs that will allow you to choose one of 32 teams. Once you choose a team pack, it will contain 2 gold or better players and 3 silver or better players on the team you selected. This is something we'll have to wait to see what kind of we talked about what kind of players they put out and what overalls. Like I think last year maybe Falcons were pretty good because you like the ones with like the fewer number of goals and the more elites, you had a better chance of the elites. So there's certain teams. I think Dallas might have been good. No, maybe that's for something else. But once we see whenever Mudhead does their thing, whenever they put out the ratings, I'll do a video on maybe the best gold team fantasy packs to pick. So then on the Ultimate Superstar, you get 84 overall Jerry Rice and 84 overall Jalen Ramsey, which, if you recall, 84 overall is quick sold for 275 training. So even though maybe an 84 won't stick on your team very long, depending on what your roster is, I think it's still a solid overall, and you'll be able to scrape some value out of it by quick selling both of those for 275 combined training points, which I assume they're going to keep the system the same for quick sell values. And then there's, like I said, these are some shit that makes you look different, right? Some cosmetics. Doesn't really matter for MUT unless you want to support, or I guess I don't know if they get any money from that. But one large training quick sell pack, so I can't even say that you're supporting them because I don't know if they get I don't know if these people are paid for their images or not. One large training quick sell pack. The large training quick sell pack with 11. So 1100 training, if you recall, was like 80 to 90 coins per training last year at the launch. So that's an easy 80 to 90,000, maybe more coins, which is important. I mean, when you look at black market prices, when it costs like $20 to $25 per 100K at launch, that's a little bit of value right there. You can't discount that if you are somebody that likes to pay to win, like or spend money. If you know money spent, then maybe you're not buying the extra versions. If you go free to play and you try and get your stuff through MUT rewards, or I don't know how else you do. Like go out and lick Kralos' face, like I try to do frequently. I don't know how else you get it free to play, but through MUT rewards, or having a friend that gets MUT rewards too. I think they give you 2. Will allow you to go free to play versus no money spent. But if you will pay for coins, this is not a bad value if you're looking for training. So whoever you are, whatever you want to do, That's something that sells me on the Ultimate Legend. I still don't think it's worth it. In the end, Superstar, with this, it's still a 3-day early access. How much you're going to use that? And like I said, I'll tell you about the EA access trick closer to the launch. But with this one, you get a small training quick sell pack, which is 460 training. You don't get the 84 overalls, and you only get 12 versus 15 team fantasy packs. Still, it's not that bad versus the Ultimate Superstar for another $20. The standard pre-order doesn't get that stuff. It only gets 5 gold team fantasy packs. So, in my opinion, I think with the EA access thing, I'll probably do standard still. Unless I get it from Out Rewards, then, of course, I'm playing for free. Again, like the last 2 years. But last year, I asked this on Twitter before we get to the questions. Last year, we got it 9 days early from Out Rewards. And the year before, we got it 4 days early. Based off my emails. So, 9 days early, which you might have to do for like a day of EA access. And then, no. 3 days plus 5 days is 8 days. So, yeah, maybe remote rewards come before you'll have to pay for EA access. So, wait until the last day if you're legendary. And make sure, if you're not legendary, get there. Open a lot of packs on Madden 19, those silver get-a-player packs. You'll be able to basically break, it takes a while, so maybe it's not worth your time. But, you may, and then you'll have a chance at getting Madden 20 for free. So, with that said, so I would wait before pre-ordering. See if you can get it for free. If you can't, if you don't send it out if you don't get it when they send it out, then pre-order standard or superstar and get EA access. So, what other pre-order offers are available? There's one from GameStop with some Cowboys. Whatever. I hate the Cowboys. Still bitter over 95. And then they got the other GameStop stuff. So, pretty similar to the standard edition, except for there's Cowboy Legends from GameStop. So, kind of cool. We're getting this trio in the game. I like it. Big fan. Emmett cards, they play okay. Urban cards always play pretty solid too. I like urban cards. Will there be loyalty rewards this year for Madden 20? All right, now here's a tip. You get Madden 17, 18, and 19. If you play any of those games, you get a bonus. A bonus 82 overall player. And those 82 overall players, every single year that you play, you get an extra choice. So if you only play 19, you get one choice. So go ahead, if you have EA access and you're gonna burn up your 10 hours, which I suggest, it's $5. Download 17, 18, and if you don't have 19, 19 too. Turn those on, log in them up, kind of do a little whatever, and then you can delete them before 20. Then you get 3 choices instead of 1 or 0 if you didn't play any of those games. So that's my suggestion before you boot up. I'll of course do this before you boot up 20 because once you boot up 20, you don't get these loyalties. So do that soonish or before 20 comes out, and then you get a choice, a few more 82 overall NATs, and of course they convert into training too. So there's other pre-order and EA access info, and you get to play EA access 5 days earlier than the pre-order, so the 25th, and then if you have leftover hours, you can do those during the 3 days, so from the 25th to the 30th, and then the 30th, 31st, 1st, the pre-order 3 days. You'll get to use your extra hours of EA access during that too, so you don't have to use your 10 hours during the 5 days. You can stretch it for the 8 days before the official launch from the 25th to the 2nd. All right? Sound good? I think I am done with my opinion. Again, final statement. I would go with the regular version, the standard edition of Madden, as I don't think the extra $40, $20 justify themselves for the Ultimate or Superstar edition unless you are planning on maxing out those 3 days early access. But remember, you get 5 days with EA access, and then there's a trick to get more hours, which I will reveal later. So, thanks for watching Call to Action. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I know it's a little confusing. I hope I cleared things up if you watch this whole video. And adios.